Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. Right? It's a slightly different day and different time, but it's Christmas. Alright, so yeah, all good. So let's see now if there's anyone watching. I know this is not my regular Wednesday night Facebook Live, but due to some traveling, I have to reschedule it to today's special day. All right, so yeah, let's see if there's anyone watching now to ensure that you have you can see me clearly, you can see the background clearly, and also of course most importantly you can also hear whatever that I'm sharing with you clearly as well. So I'm still waiting for the live to pops up on my screen here, because so far how things so far so good. All right, so if there's anyone watching now, Jola, good morning. All right, so if there's anyone watching now, please do actually say hi, send a Christmas greeting. Hi Chang Feng, you're there. Finally, I can see all of you. Mimi Leung Yi, Merry Christmas. Okay, and then Mary Jamie, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas. All right, Chang, sound loud and clear. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, this is a very special Christmas morning, okay? We are all energetic, okay? I can't wait to share with you all today's session itself, okay? And after this, we will be going on for another short road trip. Okay, Diane Quintus Lee. Hi, Jennifer. Okay, by the way, if you see Jennifer, please thank her, because all this Facebook Live here is actually sponsored, fully sponsored by J Group, Building Dreams Together, and Jennifer Yap is actually the founder, all right? So today's session itself, I'm going to share with you about Feng Shui remedy, saltwater cure for 2022. All right, so I'm not sure whether any of you have actually heard. There's so many Christmas greetings. It really feels so good. Chuan Mei Lao, thank you so much. Yure, thank you so much. Vivian Chong, thank you so much. Okay, Merry Christmas to all of you as well. All right, I try to keep the session as short as possible. Okay, I know probably you have a lot of plans for Christmas. I know that some of you couldn't really make it today because you'll be busy preparing for your Christmas big feast. It's okay, because the whole Facebook Live itself will be on replay. So in case if you miss this, you can always watch the replay. But first of all, let me please ask a favor from all of you here all over the world. Please help me to share this session out so that it can actually reach out to more people, right? Because Jennifer Yap from J Group, the founder of J Group, has actually sponsored us, for this Facebook sharings itself, with all the free informations. We really hope that you can actually help us to share it out so that it can reach out to more people. All right, so first of all, Feng Shui remedy, saltwater cure. Right, I would like to actually hear from all of you here, because I see so many new names. All right, can I just check how many of you here are first timers following me? Probably you just get to know about me like a few weeks ago due to the 12 zodiac animal sign sharing and all. Alright, so if you're first timers, you just recently got to know me, please do share with me in the comments. Let me know how many first timers are there. Calvinda Morris, I know you have been a seasoned follower. Jin Wong, of course, you are a sifu on your own level. Alright, so for those, Holy Adriana, first time. Alright, thank you so much. Juliet Tang, Nisa Yap, thank you so much for joining. So today, I'm going to share with you Feng Shui remedy, saltwater cure. I'm not sure whether Evelyn Pearl, you have heard about saltwater cure. All right, so today's purpose of this session is to actually share with you, what is saltwater cure and why salt? Why do we have to use the salt? It's exactly the salt that we are using, for our cooking and all that. Why salt? How does it work? Right? Why is it part of Feng Shui remedy? And how does this whole thing needs to be set up? So today I'm going to share with you on that particular information. All right, so in order to do that itself, I'll be actually replaying, means I will play a video. All right, it's not short, it's about half an hour video, because I have done this last year. So I have in a way trimmed a snippet of my Facebook Live from last year for all of you here who are first timer. Honey, Jenna, Hi Amy Lee, I'll see you very soon. Stephanie La, Jenny Song. So I have actually trimmed, not me lah, you know who did the work. All this background and all these beautiful backgrounds and effect and all that has been done by Nicole. All right, so she has in a way trimmed the video of last year's saltwater cure to explain to you in a way, why salt? Why do we use salt? Okay, how does it work in the first place? Okay, because remember, whatever feng shui cure that you'll be in a way deploying or doing or installing, okay, you need to know how does it work. Because remember, metaphysics, astrology is not something that encourages us to follow blindly, all right? Whatever that you're doing, there must be a reason to it. There must be at least some logical deduction from it. Probably not 100% logical, because metaphysics, why is it metaphysics? Because it's still meta-science, okay? A lot of things have not yet been proven by science. But you know that over a histories of thousands of years, at least a histories of about 5,000 years ago, where this particular tool itself has been developed, all right? And has been used even up to now, vastly, okay? Majority in like all places of the world, including all those rich and famous and successful, there must be a reason to it. There must be something in this particular tool itself, in this particular ancient tool itself, that's definitely working. So whatever it is, remember, we have to find, okay, those reasons. Try to understand it as much as possible, okay, instead of follow blindly or condemning it without really giving us a chance to understand it. So today's session itself is dedicated just for that, to understand saltwater cure, feng shui remedy. How does this work? I know a lot of like Western people use the saltwater cure as well, but what are the substantial size? How does it work? Okay, and like according to my house, okay, how big is my house? Roughly how big are those containers that I need to set up? So all this I will share with you today. But first of all, before I replay the video, I would really hope that all of you can help me to share this session out so that I can actually reach out to more people on this jovial morning, because I'm so excited this Christmas, okay, my favorite season of the year. All right, so for now, for the time being, all right, as you are sharing this post itself, I need to excuse myself, okay? So you won't be seeing me on screen anymore. You can still hear my voice, right, until we go into transition of bringing back these snippets of video from last year, where we're going to share with you, right, why is it saltwater cure? Why do we need to use salt? How does it actually work? Okay, and how to set it up. Okay, so please excuse myself now. Okay, ensure that you can hear me very clearly, and we can bring out the video now. And yeah, okay, enjoy the video, and I'll come back very soon. Those of you who are new, right, okay, why I always emphasizes of like using salts, like just now Analia have shared, okay, during the eclipse itself, I do actually share with you. Now, you can do your salt bath cleansing, right, okay, not only during eclipse or special occasion. You can always do it whenever you feel that your energy level is low, okay, whenever you feel that probably you're more emotional, probably things are not going as smoothly. Just use the salt itself to just use it as a scrub. After you bathe yourself, just scrub your body with the salt itself, and it will rejuvenate you. Okay, it will in a way like lighten up your energy level. Okay, I always in a way try to advocate this, because salt is something which is very affordable. At the same time, it is so magical, but no one really knows so much about it or cares too much about it, because it's only salt. It's not diamond nor crystals, okay, right? But the thing is, if you really do a research, right, okay, salt itself in ancient histories, in different types of like cultures, okay, or rituals, okay, it has been really like existed for like thousands of years. In fact, right, if you really search, right, it has been around for at least a millennia, okay, all right, a millennia or even thousands of years itself, right, okay, where people has a history of using salt itself for healing purposes, for magical purposes, for getting rid of negative energy purposes. Now, Buddhism or even Taoism, where I'm a Taoist, when we do temple work, or even sometimes with very close feng shui clients who I know that they are Taoists as well, I will also recommend a house cleansing, okay, ritual before they officially move into a new house, okay. It is nothing superstitious, okay, but if you believe in it, if you want to try it, why not? It's nothing expensive. You don't really have to get a Taoist master or whatever to come in. The intention will do the work for you. But one of the main ingredients during that energy cleansing is salt, okay. The Taoism, where if you understand, they will use this cha mai yim, means like dried tea leaves. They will use some rice, okay, like uncooked rice, alright, and then after that they will use also a lot of salt, okay, to actually sprinkle it around the home itself to get rid of all this so-called lower energy or negative energy. Now, negative energy is just merely a lower vibrational, okay? This energy vibrates at the lower vibration. That's why whenever we are in an environment where a lot of lower vibration is happening, it is not good for us. Okay, it will affect us. It will also in a way blend into our personal human physical energy, because you know that in the world itself, in the universe, not only the world, in the universe, everything is energy. Everything, even like if you know scientific to it, right, physics and all that, you know that even chemistry, we say that every single thing, okay, is vibrating at a different rate, right? Every single things, they have the molecular vibrations or the atomic vibrations, okay? So including human, all of us are vibrating in different energy. So Feng Shui is also a study or a tool to analyze this vibration. And after knowing the vibration, we have to determine whether the vibrations are vibrating at a higher energy, means Feng Shui or auspicious energy, or it is vibrating more on a lower energy, means this is more Sachi or negative energy. So after determining that, we will then have to provide with remedy. And one of the main remedy, the easiest to use, is actually salt water cure. But not many practitioners actually recommend this particular remedy. One of the reasons, I'm not finger pointing to anyone, because remember, at the end of the day, the skill, the tool, the things that we are practicing, okay, here on metaphysics is all about oneness. Oneness is about like the yin and yang symbol, where yin and yang merge together as one. That's all the purpose of I Ching, okay, as well. So we shouldn't create duality. It means we shouldn't be condemning, we shouldn't be pointing fingers on other people. But my sharing is, I find that probably sometimes some people do not probably share this particular Feng Shui remedy is, chances is also because it doesn't really make much money. Because you know, salt is actually a standard pricing item. It is a controlled pricing item. So if you as a Feng Shui practitioner, when I actually like recommend all of you to actually use this remedy itself, right, I don't make any money, you know. Even though I share with you the vase where you can buy it or whatsoever, okay, all these things is like, I am not commissioned out of it. But the thing is, I personally use this and I find that this is really a very good cure. And in fact, period 9 coming, everyone needs to go back to basic, go back to roots, okay? That is like Fokua, they say in a way that, like, you know, just go back to traditional things. And like, mark my words, in period 9, you will know that more and more people will go back to the roots, more and more people will go back to the basic of traditional things. And traditionally, right, okay, Feng Shui remedy, one of the tradition of it is saltwater cure. Not only in Chinese, okay, even in Japanese. If you, like some of you, if you are well versed with Japanese culture, if you have watched like sumo wrestling, if you see all these sumo wrestlers, before they even start wrestling itself, right, they will step onto that stage itself and they will start sprinkle, okay, salt onto the stage to cast out any negative energy. Even Greek mythology, if you see that in ancient Greek itself, right, this particular salt itself has been used to cure and to heal or into creating magic. Egyptians also use it a lot, all right? So if you see all these Indians, okay, they also in a way do prayers and also certain offerings that requires salt. So if we understand this, right, salt is actually the most available of Mother Nature, easily available, it is cheap, it is so affordable, at the same time, it is very magical. So I really do not want people to forget about how powerful this particular substance is, okay? So if you really do all this research, you will know that salt is something that can actually help us to balance out the energy of the environment. So those of you like Anna, she have shared her experience. And those of you who have actually tried the the salt bath cleansing on eclipse night itself, right? Please share your experience with everyone. Do you feel different when you have the salt bath and also the flower and citrus cleansing? Do you feel enlightened? Do you feel lifted, your energy, right? Because every time when you use this particular bath itself, right, it will help you to clear and also to absorb some of the negative energy that has been accumulated, okay, in our body itself. All right, so now, if we know this, then the next thing is we want to ask ourselves, okay, how does even placing a saltwater cure helps to mitigate negative energy? And normally saltwater cure is best to use on areas with 5 yellow or the 2 black star. In Chinese we call 五黃星或者二黑, okay? So these 2 are deemed as like the most chaotic star. 5 yellow is very, it's calamity, it is like dangerous, it also chaotic, right? And then the 2 black, it's actually something relating to health related problem, okay? So, and this 2 stars itself is earth related. So why putting saltwater cure here can actually help to mitigate energy? How does these things even work? Now, one of the concepts of mitigations of like Feng Shui is we always have yin and yang. Always remember, there's always yin and yang. Yin and yang also can explain as passive or active. Yang is active, yin is passive. All right, so if you know yin and yang, active, passive, right, the energy around us itself, right, the vibrational energy or the frequency, the wavelength of this energy itself is all over. We can't see them, okay? In physics itself, you might have certain meters in order for us to how to say, to test or to detect all this energy. But with naked eyes, sometimes we cannot feel them unless you are a very highly sensitive person, okay? So you can sense the energy. Some people, they are highly sensitive. Their sixth sense are very strong. They can sense it. But how do Feng Shui remedies like the saltwater cure help us to mitigate this? So I want to bring you to one of the concept, okay, which is called the noise cancelling concept, okay? So this one, if you look at this particular slide, I'm sure all of you here have now, you know, nowadays you have headphones, okay, which is like so great, okay? The headphones, once you put it on, you're in the aircraft and all that, everything becomes silent, okay? Everything becomes quiet, right? And that, it's like, you know, the technology of how this noise cancellation work is actually in a way working on an active way of cancellation or reducing the external noise or the external wavelength of certain frequency or vibration. So if you look at the blue color wave here is the external outside wave. Imagine that, you know, it is very noisy. You have aeroplane, okay, you have like children crying, you have dog barking everywhere around you. So when this wave goes into this particular phone itself, right, the headphone itself, there is a microphone, okay, that will receive this vibrational frequency of this energy. At the same time, it will now emit, okay, it will now emit, means it will push out another frequency, okay, which is represented here in this particular sites here, the red color one. Now, if you see the red color one is they will generate this wave, okay, which is equivalent to the wavelength of the noise, so-called. And when it actually merges together, now it neutralizes, okay, it neutralizes the voice itself. Okay, so this is a yang method or an active cancellation of voice works. Now there is a yin method. Yin method means it is like a passive noise cancellation. Now that is through muffling our ear. Means that we put like very good materials, okay, we make it soundproof. We muffle our ears so that like earplugs and all that, that is based on the negative or the passive, okay, noise cancellation. Okay, that's using the yin way. So the yang way, if you understand this, is once you use a different type of vibration or frequency, okay, it will now neutralize whatever external frequency that comes in. So I hope you understand. This is a bit like, okay, deeper. I'm not sure whether any of you are expecting this explanation from a Feng Shui sharing, okay? But this is exactly how it works. And I love this particular animation here, but I don't own it, I don't make it, okay? The animation here is actually from Wirecutter. All right, so my daughter found it for me and I find that, oh, cool, it's very nice, okay? So yeah, credits goes to them, but it is a good way for me to explain how this particular technology works, okay? So if you understand this, all right, so now when it comes back to Feng Shui is, external energy every year due to the cycle, how to say, the changes or the movement of the planetary stars, okay? Somehow every year, and also if you look at like, the Big Dipper, okay? So every stars at the Big Dipper itself, when it moves, it carries together with them the 9 different stars, okay? And these 9 stars are the 9 Xuan Gong flying stars when it comes to Feng Shui. I know it's technical. For those of you who don't understand Feng Shui, skip this part. Pretend nothing happened. All right? So you just know that out of the 9 stars, there are 2 stars, okay, which is the star number 5 and star number 2, 5 yellow and also 2 black star, which is the stars are more aggressive, they are more negative. The chances if pair up with external Sachi, this stars itself will affect us or our vibration level to impact into our physical body, our mental health, our mind, and also our emotion. So when a Feng Shui practitioner goes to your house, they will now tend to calculate the stars and then to identify where this direction comes from, or if there's any external factor that further boosts this particular energy. All right, to further boost it, that one I will save it for another sharings, okay? So once we understand this particular Sa-Chi, we call it negative energy, so then that's where we will, recommend our Feng Shui remedy. And one of the Feng Shui remedy is actually using salt water cure. Because using salt water cure, as salt itself, when we put salt, water, and metal inside. Okay, so that brings us to the next slide. This slide is so good, I know, right? She don't want to push until the next slide. She said, Mom, can you talk longer on this slide because it's so cool? She said, next slide. Okay. All right,
everyone.
so I want to bring you to the next slide. Firstly, before I explain further into using anything, listen to this video.
So those of you, if you're looking for the vase for your saltwater cure, now most of the time I'll get it here. Now I used to get it in Ikea, but they already run out of stock, and most of the time I go and check, they don't have the right appropriate size. But here in Buduria, the people here are very friendly, okay? Alright, so here you can actually, if you want, you can actually try and get it here. Plus they have plenty of beautiful flowers. Now for this round, okay, I couldn't find the long cylinder type, okay, which normally I would use at home. But this time round, they have this round vase, which is very suitable. Now if your house is like not that big, probably it's about 1,000 plus 2,000, it is okay for you to use the smaller vase itself. But let's say if you want to have a bigger impact or a bigger effect, right, I would suggest you to use this. Now this is selling at 206 ringgit, all right, and the smaller, slightly smaller one is selling at 156 ringgit, all right. So I'll be getting this for this year, but I want you all to remember, now try not to get those which is too small. Now a lot of times people make mistake is, okay, when they actually get the vase which is too small, examples like this. If you can actually see the vase like this which is too small, that is not recommended. Or any which is like smaller round vase like this is not recommended. So you have to get the big one, and this is all they have, limited stock. So try to get your vase, set up your saltwater cure as soon as possible, and I will see you and share with you the dates very soon after this. Now I'm going to show you how to actually set up the saltwater cure, okay? As you can see here, I've actually poured some salt into the vase itself, okay? But I'm not going to do the whole setup, okay? Because I'm not going to waste the salt, and I don't want to actually pour them out later on. But roughly, I'm going to give you an idea, okay, of how to really set this up. But the first most important thing is get the correct vase. Now I've seen numerous people who have gotten the vase which is not recommended. Remember, the first thing is it needs to be glass, okay? So, and the second thing, preferably it is transparent. Do not use plastic. Do not use any stainless steel or whatsoever. No plastic. Now I have clients who actually use, those chiller for beers and all the things, okay? Those plastic sort of like container where you chill your beers and all that, that is not usable. It needs to be of glass, transparent, and always focus into the openings of the vase itself, okay? So normally, if you can see here, this one has a wider diameter and opening compared to this. Alright, so if you're staying in a normal apartment, condominium, about 1,002 square feet, this particular size will be perfect, okay? It will be good enough. As you can see, the diameter is almost about like a palm length, right? But if you're saying anything about like 1,500 and above, 2,000, even 3,000 square feet per floor, okay, this is too small. Try to get a bigger one, all right? Because you see, the size of the vase needs to be in a way like, substantial enough for the size of the house lah, okay? All right, and then after getting the right vase itself, right, you have to ensure that you get the salt, okay? Now, what I have here is actually the salt, which is good enough and kind enough from Chang Feng, who volunteered to get for me, okay? Chang Feng from J Group. He got for me the table salt, the fine salt, the refined one, okay? Which is from NSK. One bag like this is 5 5 kg and it's 3 AD. Now, to me, it doesn't need to be so expensive. Okay, so you don't have to get fine table salt. You can actually get the coarse rock salt. Okay, the one that they actually use for the salt baked chicken. So it's not for consumption, but it used to bake the chicken itself. Okay, the rocky one. Right, the big coarse salt itself. Right, I bought before in the wet market. One whole big gunny sack about like 40 kg is probably about like 13 ringgit. Alright, okay, so you can check it out. It will be much more economical. So remember, it doesn't need to be so expensive, okay, because you cannot use the salt after the whole thing anymore. So what you need to do is like once you have gotten all this ready, right, on the day and the time that I'll be sharing with you later on, make sure that you actually set up your salt water cure. Okay, all you need to do is like you just ensure that you pour all the salt inside. Or just keep pouring it until it fills up the whole entire vase itself, okay? So I'm not going to actually pour all the salt inside this vase and fill it up, okay? Because that will require a lot of salt, and at the same time, because I'm not setting it up now, so I don't want to take the trouble to actually pour it back out later on. But ensure when you pour it in, right, now you see, normally it will be very loose. You need to use something or use your palm of your hand to actually press it. So lever it down, press it so that it is compact. Because I want, okay, later on, after one packet, you press it until it's compact and then continue with another packet. Why is it so? Is because once you fill it up, and I want you to fill up at least up to the rim here, about 1 inch below the rim of the vase, about 1 inch. Okay, and make sure that it is pressed down and compact, because the reason is later on when we put the water in, right, chances of the salt, it will further sink in. All right, so if you find that it is sinking in, right, okay, you have to add more salt. Preferably once the salt is settled, it will leave about 1 inch gap, okay, to the rim of it. So the rest of here, it will be like filled up with water. It doesn't need to have a lot of water. You have to fill up until the water just covering the surface of the salt. That will be good enough, okay? And of course, during the live later on, I will also showing you what are the coins, okay, that you should be using and how you should be placing them, or why is it important and how does it work, okay? So I hope that, okay, you understand. Roughly, the most important thing is when you pour in the salt itself, right, press it in so that it is compact. Alright, so if you have any questions, do drop it in the comment. I will try to attend to your questions, okay? And then now, let's go back to the live.
Okay, all right, so you have watched that particular video, you know where to get your vase, all right? Now, you don't really need to go to that particular area. Last time I used to get it in Ikea, but as far as I'm concerned, it is out of stock. And ever since, I couldn't really find a vase in Ikea with that big openings. I'm not sure like now whether they restock it back. The last I checked, probably like a month ago, they still do not have that size, okay? I've bought before from SSF, okay? They also have it. But for this few years itself, normally I will get it sorted out at Puduria Furthest, okay? And Alvin actually shared a very good thing. I think he actually ordered, and it's not expensive. I'm not sure about like 25 cm is probably about this big, okay? Diameter of the opening. Sounds good, all right? So maybe you can get some information from Alfie as well, that he actually ordered it and for it to actually ship in, okay? So yeah, remember, no, some of you actually ask, can use plastic vase or not? No, you cannot. Don't use plastic vase. Cannot also use this, like preferably I would prefer you to use transparent glass, okay? Transparent glass. Because imagine, the glass over here is just like all the chemical reaction that you're doing your science lab test in a chemistry lab, all right? So we need that glass. Transparent, preferably, all right? And then after that, you put in that particular salt itself. Make sure that it is compressed, okay? It is compact and compressed. And fill up, try to fill up as high as possible, nearer to the brim, and slowly add in water. After you have added in water, you need to prepare 6 coins with the yang side facing up. Now, traditionally, of course, they use ancient coins, okay? Ancient coins also, because it's much thinner, the chemical reaction will be like faster and there will be more reaction. Now, putting the coins in doesn't mean that the ancient coins is powerful. Okay, it's not that. It's just normal, how to say, a remake of coins from some factories in China to sell to people, okay, for decorative items or whatsoever purposes. Okay, so it's the metal, okay, that is important. We want to put something that is made of metal, all right, into the particular, but it cannot be stainless steel. It can be brass, it can be copper, it can be steel, okay, but it cannot be stainless steel. All right, so we have to actually put 6 coins. Now, how to align the 6 coins? You have to align it in a circle. Now, why do we need 6 and why do we need circle? It's because we want to take the image of the Qian Gua. Now, those of you, if you know Feng Shui, right, Qian Gua is actually like, you know, metal element, okay, and it comes in number 6. Number 6 is Qian Gua. So we want to align the 6 coins here in a Qian Gua, sort of like, how to say, not to say alignment, but in a circle, because circle or the shape of round shape or circle also represents metal. Now, there are different, 5 elements itself comes in different shapes and form, okay? We want to put in a circle form because it represents metal. But the most important thing is because this few shillings or coins that you have inside, it is not going to actually, in a way, you know, some people mentality as in like, oh, I put metal here and it will mitigate the 5 yellow because 5 yellow is earth, so that these coins now can weaken the earth. No, it is not that way. Okay, so this particular coins here is to put in so that it will create a chemical reaction with the salt and the water inside. That's why you need this transparent glass. With the salt, you have to put water and you put in the coins. And why I emphasize that you have to put the yang side up, that one is only for a psychological, creating an image. What if I accidentally put yin? I cannot even tell left or right or yang or yin, okay? And I put yin side, is it going to be bad? No. There's no such thing, all right? Why I want to put this is because in the image, because when it comes to I Ching, right, okay, for divination purposes, we want to actually create an imagery, okay, sort of like information, all right? So that's why when you put it, might as well you put it the yang side up. Now, yang side up is the side, if you're using ancient coin, the side that normally you have 4 words, 4 Chinese words, okay, right? The words can be different, okay, in different eras itself. So don't use your antique collections. If you have real antique coins, please don't go put inside. Because after 1 year, it will be totally tarnished. Okay? Alright? Use all this like remake things from any factory in China. Very cheap one only. Alright? So the yang side is the one with the 4 Chinese character. The yin side normally comes with 2 Chinese character or image. Right? Normally it will have like some flowers. Okay? So that is the yin side. Now, you can also use your own currency coins, okay? Let's say, for instance, Malaysians, you have your 20 cent, you have your 50 cent. Now, since this one, okay, the new versions of the coins are in gold color, it will be better if you can choose the gold color one. Now, is it going to make a difference between the old silver compared to the gold? Okay, now, no difference. But only because imagery, gold represents directly to metal. Emphasize it, a higher level of metal, even though it's not gold lah, okay? So if you use this, Malaysian coins also can, but make sure that the side with all the wordings, okay? You have Bank Negara Malaysia, you have all the 20 cent, 50 cent, all these wordings, that is the yang side. Put that particular side facing up, align it in a circle into your saltwater cure. So I hope that this is clear to you, right? Remember, the salt itself, try to put it as high as possible. At least up to 80% of the vase itself, or 85, or up to even an inch or 2 inch, not 2 inch, 1 inch or slightly more, 1.5 inch. The gap between the rim down to the level of the salt. And then you put the water in. After putting water in, then only you put the coins in. Now, you see, all these things also, I need to always try and error. Experiments is all experimenting, all right? So I realized that in the last year or even the year before, I would say that don't care if the coins just sink into the salt. It doesn't matter, because the purpose of the coins is only to create, okay, the reaction, chemical reaction between inside the saltwater cure. But I realized one thing, if you put the coins at the surface without it sinking in, the chances is now you might have a chance to also try to, how to say, test, okay, their energy around the area by the forming of the salt itself. Now, this is my saltwater cure for this year. All right, I just took a photo. I didn't move it because we're not supposed to move it yet, okay? So I just took a photo to share to you, right? Okay, some of the coins itself has become rusted. This is truly like really very rusted. This is still okay. And you see that this particular coin here has been submerged in. Today, when I take the photo, I try to take it a bit up lah, okay? I try lah, but not really. It's like, see, most of it has been submerged into, okay, sink into the salt. Now, one thing I realize is if the salt, the coins are on top, right? Okay, and the energy there is like not so much of negative energy, you will see that the pattern of the salt itself, right? It will grow one, Over the 1 year, you see that Stephanie and all that have shared, okay, the photos of a salt water. If you have also, you can share it on my comments, okay, later on. Share it so that everyone can learn from it, all right? It will grow. And when it grows, it will form patterns. The more out of shape, the more uglier the pattern, the more dirtier it becomes. Don't worry, it's just an indication. That's why when we look at the salt that has formed, okay, it can also tell us a lot about the household, okay? So if let's say that particular area has a lot of sachi, then it will actually form in a very ununiform way. Okay, it will form until like, ununiform way. Doesn't mean that don't be shy, don't be shameful about it, please. Right? You should be thankful because the saltwater cure here helps you to mitigate all this negative energy. Because what happens is, whenever you have this chemical reaction between the salt water and also the metal inside, right, it will release a lot of like those ions. Okay, those negative ions now will match, like, it's just like waterfall. When you go to waterfall, you have this all negative ions, right? Okay, why it is better there? Because now it will catch on to all these positive ones, which is somehow like not so great energy or vibrations, right? It will latch onto it to create more salts. Okay, there is some chemical reaction going on. So that's why throughout the years itself, you will slowly see that the salt will grow, okay? And when it grows, if the energy is cleansed or more cleaner, you will see that a uniform pattern will be formed. Can you see that this coin is here? Can you see that there is somehow like a lining formed at the rim of this particular salt? You see that this coin is here. I'm trying to like point it correctly. Can you see that the lining is over here? This coin is here and the lining formed over here. All right. And then this one is buried. Okay. It is buried. There's no lining over here. And then of course this coin, the last one, is here and the lining forms over there. So the lining is like the same thing. If you really look back into my sharings of a video, I say the semantic test, okay, where you use the sand and you use sound, a vibration. When you have good sound, music, vibration, this particular semantic, it will actually form a pattern which is very uniform, very nice, okay? But whenever, let's say, right, this Japanese professor, okay, who did this particular experiment on water itself, if you try to actually, in a way, like put in a lot of negative element or negative energy to the water, and after that, you try to look under the water, under a microscope itself, right, the form of the water itself, right, it will be, the molecules will actually form a very ununiform molecule. All right, so this is exactly the same principle when it works to saltwater cure and also the formation of it. So normally, if you set it correctly, and you will find that the saltwater cure is not really growing, right? Or very little growth, and it's clean, and you have a uniform pattern, it means that you are safe. External energy that's not so strong, you don't have external sachi that impact on that area. So in the olden days, practitioner likes to use a lot of all this, like, this is like a litmus test, They use all these remedies as a test and put it at your home and to see how is the energy at your home. They also use like goldfish, okay? That's why they call it Feng Shui fish. They also use certain plants they call Feng Shui plants. But these plants are the plants that is like, they require a lot of like attention, a lot of care in order for it to really thrive and grow abundantly. So therefore, this particular plant is labeled under a Feng Shui plant because when a practitioner asks you to put it at a certain corner, and when they actually get feedbacks from you whether that plant is growing or is dying, and you see that there's certain corner of your house, if the plants keep dying, it means that the negative energy at this particular area itself is bad. Okay? So saltwater cure also can give us that indication. All right? So if you look at here, you see that if you actually set it up properly, all right, if the energy around the area is in a way there's not so much of Sachi, it will actually form a very nice pattern and alignment. Okay, now when I say not so much Sachi means I see every house still definitely have 5 yellow one. Every house will have 5 yellow one because they keep on flying to different sector or different corners. But doesn't mean every house 5 yellow also have to be scared off, right? So there are certain house, right, 5 yellow are more detrimental. Why? Because it's not because of the house, but because external they are more Sachi. Location of the house probably is not at the best location, and externally they have Sachi. Therefore, this 5 yellow are more fiercer. Okay, so if you find a Feng Shui place where the external landform is taken care of, there's not much like negative energy or negative Sachi, every year you will still have the 5 yellow, but you don't have to be afraid. All right, so that is how energy works. Alright, okay, I'm back. Alright, thank you for staying on with the recorded video of last year's. Alright, I see that many of you have some questions. I pick up some of your questions here as like, someone is asking whether can you use a plastic pail. Now, I do not recommend plastic pails. Okay, I have clients, okay, before that actually uses the beer chiller. Every time when you order the beer, you have this a container or a bucket, okay, for you to chill the beer that is made of plastic. It is not recommended. Now, when you use a transparent, especially glass, okay, or a vase, okay, or a container that's made of glass, now it actually enhances the reaction, okay, the chemical reactions between the salt, the water, and also the coins. Okay, now just imagine if you are in a chemistry lab. Okay, so when you have to do some experiment in a chemistry lab, right, the utensils, okay, or the equipments that you use, okay, whether it's your test tubes or whatever, it is mainly made of glass, especially those like thinner glass, because it encourages, okay, as in light to penetrate through, it can encourages in a way for the reactions, okay, chemical reactions to actually happen faster and better as well. All right, so yeah, I hope that answers your questions. Okay, I do not recommend plastics materials. Use glass materials, especially transparent glass. Okay, so all those vases and all that will be best. And some of you are asking about Ikea salad bowl, right? Ikea salad bowl is about like probably this big. Normally it's like during my live events I use it for lucky draw. Yes, it does have a openings, okay, means a bigger openings and mouth, but it doesn't have that in a way capacity. It means like the volume, right? Now we like, okay, something which is bigger in volumes. Like normally we can actually put okay, at least about like 20 kilos of like salt inside. My house, I have a vase which is this big. All right, so I have 2 of those sizes depending where I want to put it on. All right, so if you use those salad bowls, as I mentioned, okay, if you are living like my clients in Hong Kong, okay, where a normal unit of their apartment, okay, is like sometimes it varies between 500 square feet to 700 square feet, and that's considered luxurious, okay. So if that's the case, yes, you can use, okay, the salad bowl. But if you are in Malaysia or probably some other parts of the world where your house itself is at least 1,000 over square feet, a few thousand square feet, the salad bowl is not sufficient enough. All right, please get something bigger in one particular, I would say, unit. All right, don't use a few small ones. Okay, use one particular unit as a big one. That will be better. Right, what else are what other questions, okay, that I need to cater on? Yeah, okay, how big is the size? I've actually talked about it. Plastics, I'll talk about it. All right, and then yeah, okay, some of you are asking about like pouring in water after that. Yes, okay, after you have set up, okay, over the weeks or months itself, the water in the saltwater cure will dry up. Now all you need to do is gently top up water, gently. Don't just go and like mess up the whole area and all that, okay? Just take a small little jug or a small little mug, okay, and gently top up the water so that it fills it up again. All right, so these are the things that you need to do. Can I just see the rest of the questions that I've not catered to? All right, so yeah, aquarium. Yes, you can, okay, those like, the goldfish aquarium normally is round one dimension. One of the things, okay, you have to make sure that the opening is wide enough. All right, because we want the openings where, because you know, the mouth of the vase or the container itself is where the interaction with the surrounding energy. Okay, so you use something with an open mouth, a bigger open mouth, okay, will be better. All right, okay, yeah, okay, my salt pops up and there are sprinkles outside of a glass container. Yes, all right, so normally you will have that. Right, ensure that you lay out something to protect your flooring, because over the year itself, okay, it will actually tarnish your floor, because the salt will grow, it will sprinkle out, it will actually tarnish your flooring, especially if you have wooden flooring, okay, including even like marble floorings or any tiles, okay. So make sure that probably the best if you have a round stainless steel container, okay, to put it underneath the vase itself and still put a rubber mat underneath. All right, that will be better. No need to use mineral water, right? Just use any other water, okay, fine, it will be fine. Don't have to use mineral water. Don't use Himalayan salt or Epsom salt into the salt water cure, because you don't need to. Those salts are expensive. Just use the coarse salts, okay? The rock salt, the coarse one, normally it's not even advisable to consume, right? As I mentioned in the video, you use it for, like, you know, the salt-baked chicken, okay? These are the things, all right? So now, okay, after answering all these questions, all right, every time, okay, that you, in a way, remove or renew to the deer, okay, the old vase can be reused. Please recycle it. You don't have to throw it away, all right? Please don't do more harm, okay, to the environment. Recycle the vase. You just need to throw the salt away, okay? Pack it nicely and throw it away on the date that I share with you for a removal date, okay? So now I'm going to share with you. There are some of you have not removed the date, all right? For me, I have removed it, but some of you missed that date, okay? I already said that I'm not going to choose another date, okay? But okay, never mind. I got the date. I'm going to share with you. This is the final date I'm sharing with you. If you still missed it, then do it on your own. All right? So whenever you feel like it, just remove it. Okay? So the removal date is for this year's saltwater cure. So those of you who have actually, in a way, set out 2021, okay, saltwater cure, which is at the southeast, which is where the 5 yellow is, and the north sector, where the 2 black star is, okay, right, on the 13th of January. It's a Thursday, all right? Right, it's a remove day as well. Time is 11:13 a.m. Right, so on that day itself, okay, 13th of January, right, remove it starting from 11:13 a.m. All right, how to remove it? Make sure that on that day itself, gently in a way, if you can, lift up the saltwater cure. Be careful, it will be very slippery, especially all the crystallized salt at the outside of the vase itself, right? Okay, it will break. It will slip and you might break the whole vase, okay? So you have to do it very gently. Support the bottom, okay? If you can, bring it up on a trolley. If not, just lift it up, okay? Bring it to somewhere bright. If one of your toilets have a substantial amount of sun, okay, or your balcony, or your garden area, your porch area, bring it to somewhere where you have yang energy, means sunlight, where it can penetrate through the sunlight. Just leave it there, okay, and you can soak it with water. Means that you can actually splash water into it and let it, in a way, overflow with water, okay? So it's soak it, because the salt itself could have hardened. You might not be able to, in a way, dig out all the salt. You can soak it, you can even soak it overnight under the sun, open air. All right, and once you feel that the salt is soft enough, okay, gently, in a way, scoop up the salt and put it in a gunny sack or a big rubbish bag. Double, okay, the layer if possible. Don't throw it into your drain, because it will clog your drain. All right, so make sure that you put into a big plastic bag, okay, and separately throw it into the disposal area. And then after that, wash the glass itself, okay, wash it, air dried it, leave it outside in the sun, okay, so that it can penetrate with yang energy. So after that, the vase itself can be reused. All right, now that day itself clashes with monkey, okay? So if you're born in the year of the monkey, only the year, forget about the month, the day and the hour, only if you're born in the year of the monkey, and you have to do this on your own. Be extra careful. You can still do it, but be extra careful, as that day clashes with you, chances of accident might happen. So if you have alternate choice at home, okay, someone else which is not born in the year of monkey can do it for you, that's the best option. Ask someone else to actually help you to dismantle and remove it, okay? So on the day itself and the time, you just need to remove, means pick it up and put it away from the north or the southeast sector. Okay, you don't have to straight away scoop it and clean it. Okay, you can just pick it up and put out in the garden and let it soak under the sun. Okay, let it in the way soak onto the positive energy of the sun itself. Okay, and probably the next day or even the day after tomorrow, then you can remove it. Okay, so this is the 13th January. All right, and then of course, after removing it, okay, you clean up the vase itself, and you can actually use the same vase, okay, for the setup of 2022 saltwater cure. Now, 2022, the 5 yellow is at the center. So, no need to set up any saltwater cure when the 5 yellow is at the center. Okay, I do not recommend any setup of saltwater cure when your 5 yellow is at the center, but I do recommend you, okay, to actually set up a saltwater cure, right, at the 2 black star location. All right, so now next year, saltwater cure. This is for 2022, okay, the tiger year. Southwest tree location. It is a monkey location or a Shen location based on the 24 mountain rings. Okay, the degree, midpoint degree is 240 degree. Okay, and this is to tap or in a way to mitigate the 2 black star, or in other words, it is also known as the sickness star or the illness star. All right, now again, as I mentioned, do not be fearful, do not be paranoid. Every star has its pros and cons, okay? Because every house will definitely have a 2 black star, okay? No matter what facing your house is, you will definitely have a 2 black star. But the thing is, do not freak out, okay? Do not be fearful, okay? Do not be paranoid. Every house has it. It really depends on the external energy of the house, whether your 2 black star is of positive, okay, influence or negative influence. So in order for us to ensure, okay, that our house be as best energy as possible, there's no harm setting one saltwater cure at the 2 black star, especially we are in the middle of a pandemic. All right. Now, I'm not saying that when you set up a saltwater cure, it will in a way keep you away from the pandemic and you can actually run out and about, okay, without a mask, okay, or without following SOP. Please don't do that. But the best that we can do is because you know how saltwater cure works, okay, and you know how it actually helps you to 净化. 净化 means like purify the energy or the dense energy, okay, at home itself. So overall, the energy becomes lighter. There is lessen or lessen of chances of accumulation. Because 2 black star here, why is it deemed as an illness star by most of the practitioners? Those of you who follow my classes and my breakthrough classes, you know that I have another name for this, okay? Because this is an accumulation star. Accumulation means that 2 black star can be very good for long-term investments, okay? For accumulations of assets, okay? If you're antique collectors and all that, 2 black star is a perfect star for you. But at the same time, everything has its yin and yang. When it has a pros, it has a cons, okay? So the possibilities of the negative impact of the 2 black star is through accumulations. When you have too much of accumulations, it will lead to stagnations and also in a way a depression of energy. It means that imagine your body, when you have accumulated too much of toxic, okay, but yet, okay, you cannot in a way expose it or detox it, okay, over time it becomes health issues or illnesses or disease, okay? So therefore, we want to ensure that these 2 black stars itself, the area over there, the chi or the energy is flowing smoothly. So we can put the saltwater cure over there to ensure this is happening. All right, so 2 black star. Now, how do you actually put it? You can see the floor plan over here, the example over here. All right, so now, example, if this is your house, your floor plan, now ensure that, okay, you stand at the middle of your house, just roughly, just gauge, okay, decide, right? Because you see, from the questions that sometimes the students are asking, we know how much fear we have within us. Remember, Feng Shui is to help us to uplift ourselves, to live a better life. It's not something to make us more paranoid, more fearful, okay? So just roughly gauge, is like, this is the center of your house. Imagine this is your floor plan. Where is the center? Gauge it, all right? And from the center, then you stand there to take a direction to identify where is your 240 degrees southwest. All right, so in terms of Feng Shui, 24 mountain rings, that southwest tree location or a monkey location here, okay? Example, if this particular house itself, it is towards this direction. So place your saltwater cure towards the furthest end of your house indoor, not outdoor. It means that these are the boundary of your house, okay? So the furthest end of this location, it will be somewhere around here. So if you remove the 24 mountain rings, okay? So if you remove it, so you have a clearer picture of the floor plan. This is in the kitchen, and this is probably out of like the corner of your tabletop, your kitchen top, okay? So all you need to do is you set up a saltwater cure at this particular location on the date and the time that will be given to you after this. All of you following? All right, so now, right, you can take up a floor plan. Now, some of you, okay, might be thinking, now roughly find the center of your house. So once you have found the center of your house, okay, I want you to actually stand at the center of your house and take out, nowadays it's like, you know, your phone has compass with it, okay? If not, you can use a real compass. Right, using the phone compass, okay, it's very accurate, okay? We have tried it, okay, again and again, all right? And you can stand at the center of your house there, okay? The example, okay, your compass will look something like this. Now, all you need to do is ensure that the water level means it's level up, okay? Can you see the cross over here? Now, sometimes it goes out like this, out of alignment, means it's not accurate. Your phone is tilted. So ensure that this cross here marks the center of your north, east, southwest cross, okay? And then after that, stand at the center of your house and turn all the way, okay? Turn until you reach 240 degree southwest. Example, okay, once you reach 240 degrees southwest, you might be turning, and that direction could be there, okay? Once you have gotten this direction, okay, walk towards the end, okay? You can bring back the floor plan, the big floor plan, all right? So once you have gotten, example like here, okay, you have turned towards this direction and you find that 240 degree is towards the direction of your kitchen. So walk all the way, okay, towards the end corner of your kitchen over here, and that is a location where you need to set up the saltwater cure. All clear? All right, so once you have gotten this, okay, so you prepare your things. You prepare your vase, you prepare your salt, okay? Don't only go and search for it on the day itself, okay? Because the chances is it will be out of stock, all right? So the vase itself, okay, you can get it like some of the example places that I've mentioned. You have to scout for it. And then also get the salt in the market. It can be NSK, all right? It can be any like, hypermarket and all these things, okay? Get those coarse salt because it's much cheaper. As I mentioned, I go to the market, I buy the big gunny sack itself, okay? It is not expensive. Probably at the time it's only 20 over ringgit, okay? Maximum is only 30 ringgit, and you won't be able to finish it anyway, so you can share with people, okay? So once you have gotten that, now this is your installation date. All right, so if you want to install, okay, now if you miss this date, forget about installing it, okay, right? Don't install. So if you miss this date, then forget about installing saltwater cure. I mean, some of you here probably have lived, okay, for the past 30, 40, 50, 60 over years in your life itself, you have never installed a saltwater cure. It doesn't really matter if you miss another year, all right? But if you prepared everything and you can actually get it set up, this is Chinese New Year Eve, Lin Sam Sap Man, okay? So this is Chinese New Year Eve, 31st of January, okay, 2022. It's a Monday, all right? Now, first choice, the best timing is 7:30 a.m. Now, secondary choice is 9:30 a.m. Location, as I mentioned earlier, Southwest Tree, 240 degree. Okay, example over here. You set up, okay, the salt water cure gently at your Southwest Tree area, following what I have shared with you earlier on of how to set it up, all right? So remember, those of you who are living in a 2-story, 3-story house, even 4-story house, okay, bungalows and all that, now priority is always on the ground level. So if you have a basement level, okay, that's not a ground level. Ground level means it's like your main entrance, okay, where you actually enter. It can be your big garden, okay, if you're facing a golf course or whatever, your main entrance, okay, to your main big door, okay, that is your ground level. Priority, ground level. Now, if you can set one saltwater cure for each particular story, okay, if you don't find it very tedious, if you really want to go about with it, set it at every story. It's really no harm doing it, all right? So, but if you want to only try it at one level, always prioritize the ground floor, okay? Are you following? All right, very good. Okay, and then what else do I need to cater to?
And the house, the house room itself, any room, And then also on the table, on the floor, etc., etc.
Yeah, okay, now let's say for instance, you can put it on the floor, okay, you can put it on the table, especially if you have the, like, you know, the vase which is like, no cylinder vase which is high, okay, then you can put it on the floor. But let's say if you have the rounded, okay, vase itself, okay, then if you have a table, just so happen like this example over here, you have a tabletop, the kitchen tabletop over here, then you can put it on the tabletop, all right? So really depends on your home. It doesn't really matter whether it's on the floor or on the table. But of course, okay, if it's like you have a very short vase, okay, preferably you lift it up, all right, so it will be better because it actually reaches the air, okay. But let's say if, like, you know, you have a high cylinder vase itself, then you can leave it on the floor. Now remember, you have to lift it in the open, okay. Example here, it can be a kitchen cabinet, okay. So you normally suggested is you put on top of the kitchen cabinet, do not place it inside the kitchen cabinet itself, right? Because some people, they just put it inside the kitchen cabinet and they close the door. Now that's not going to help. You have to understand how it works, okay, because it works by, in a way, reacting, okay, with the external energy and the external environment. So if you put it in a cabinet and close the door, it cannot react, okay, so it's a waste of time. So if you, for whatsoever reason, you know, some people say that, if I put such a big cure there, it will be very not very nice, okay. It's like, you know, the eyes when my guests come, okay, if you have a big salt pot there, it doesn't look nice. Now if you want to look nice, then don't do it, okay, because if you in a way hide it, it's not going to work, okay. It's just a waste of time and money, all right. So you have to put it outside where it is exposed to the air, to the environment. All right, so let's say for instance, southwest tree is your storeroom that you hardly open the door, okay. Normally you don't open the door in your storeroom, okay. Then don't put it inside the storeroom. Example, if this is your storeroom, don't put it inside the storeroom, put it just right outside the storeroom. So you can put it somewhere around here because the whole stretch here is southwest tree. So you can put it here, or you can put it here, okay, or you can put it right at the corner. But let's say if right at the corner is so happen to be a storeroom and you have to close the door most of the time, then put it right in front, okay. It can be in your bedroom, it can be in your toilet, provided that you open the door. It means that you leave your toilet door open whenever you're not using it most of the time, okay, then you can put it inside. All right, so any more questions? Toilet, bedroom, entrance door, it doesn't matter. But of course, if your entrance door, you don't put it in the middle of your door lah, okay, so you can hardly even walk, all right? Just to the side of the entrance door, it is fine, all right? So you can put it anywhere except for enclosed area. So if you have a storeroom that you do not open the door, then don't put it inside, put it just right outside, all right? So where to get the 6 emperor coins, okay, it's everywhere lah. You go like, you know, all this, you know, the China, what do you call it, okay, 中國風啊. You know, there's this like a wholesale place that sells a lot of China stuff. You have a lot of fake, all those like, you know, ancient coins, look 丟錢 and all these things, okay. Sometimes it comes in the decorations of a string, of red string and all that. Just buy, cut away the string and use the coins, okay. So it is not expensive, all right. So use those who are cheap ones. Don't use your actual ancient antique, all right. So what other questions do I have here? All right, so what else do I have here? Right, natural black salt. Yeah, you can, as long as it is natural and it is cheap. Okay, so if like black salt and all that, you know, okay, I remember we bought one from Spain the last time itself. It's not cheap, okay. So for you to fill up that particular whole vase itself, it might actually cost a lot, okay. So I do not in a way encourage you to buy highly expensive salt for this, okay. Don't have to, don't waste your money like that, all right.